broadcast network, Afterbuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. Afterbuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Kaufmann. Now, let the buzz begin!
Yes.
Nice.
I love it.
It's a good way to kick off this after show.
Right there. This band is Anvil, playing Paint It Black, which is a Rolling Stones song. I'm Steve Kaufmann. This is AfterBuzzTV.com. We're doing the Gotham After Show, Season 1, Episode 21, The Anvil or the Hammer. I put a lot more thought into that than I'd care to admit.
Get it, guys?
Get it? Please get it. Oh my God, please get it. I'm being joined, as always, by Joyce Ajouri.
Hey guys, what's going on? You can catch me on Twitter at JAJOURI.
And sometimes with well, you're not here always, so
yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes Nando.
Hi everybody, Nando Velasquez. You can reach me on Twitter at NANDOVEL.
And I'm at Steve Kaufmann. I don't get a space or a real name. That's my name now. I'm at Steve Kaufmann, and you can tweet at any of us using the hashtag ABTV. Gotham. Yeah, I just had a complete brain freeze there. I was like, what's happening?
What show are we doing?
What are we doing? And if you're listening to my voice on the iTunes or the YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us, like us, share us, all the fun things.
Yeah.
Give us reviews on iTunes as well, because I do read those. A lot of cool stuff. We're someone's workout buddy.
Oh, cool.
They were just like,
That's awesome.
I love hearing these guys while I'm at the gym. I was like, I know that feel.
Whatever motivates you.
Yeah, just keep it going. Also, if you're listening to us on SoundCloud, YouTube, and if you're watching us live, I'm in the chat roll. Let me know. You all seem to be watching wrestling. I don't. Or talking about wrestling, which is happening at the same time.
We understand.
You guys missed a wrestling match in Gotham today. That's for sure.
It is.
There were some fights.
There were a lot of fights. Someone went through a table.
Yeah.
Like I think there were as many people going through a table tonight as there were last night.
And just
and
like Raw, it was all acting.
Wow. I'm a part of that crew too.
It was sports entertainment.
It's still real to me, damn it. Let's get into this. Last week we got the incredible image of Barbara Keene in this 50 Shades of Grey sex dungeon that she was a little turned on with.
She did seem kind of pleased. I didn't expect her little half-turn smile that happened last week. I did watch the episode today, so when I saw that, I was watching it at work, and I was like, what? She's into it right now?
Well, she obviously is not just into, she had a girlfriend.
Yeah, she's in the
gym, so
I
she's
forgot about
her
that.
horizons are pretty expanded.
She seems to like to experiment.
She's not very straight-laced. Yeah, she can experiment, exactly.
Apparently, from the moment she saw that dungeon, they only got an hour's worth of sleep. And they don't tell us what exactly happened, because it is only a TV-14 show. But we can all use our imaginations. It was probably pretty crazy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But we get... No comment. That's a trap. That's a trap if I've ever heard one. So she walks downstairs, about to leave. Hey, we know what this is. I'm about to take the walk. And the ogre's like, nope, you can't leave. What do you mean you can't leave? What do you mean I can't leave? Okay, I'm going to level with you. The first time we met, I was trying to kill you.
Yeah.
But now... I don't want to kill you because I think you're the one.
At first, I was like, why is he telling her this now? And then I figured, okay, he's trying to scare her into submission, essentially.
And it worked.
It worked.
Really
it totally worked. I mean, if someone told me that they were going to kill me the first time they met me, I think I would listen to them just for a little bit until I could figure out a way to screw them over and escape.
Well, I think
I don't know.
He's being incredibly transparent with her, and the interesting thing from last week's episode is that Barbara, when he was going to kill her because he thought that she was Gordon's girlfriend and that she was somebody that Gordon loved, she confessed that nobody loves her, everyone runs away from her, everyone rejects her, which was part of his own MO. part of his own history.
Oh, yeah.
So I think he saw a major kindred spirit and wanted to bond with that.
Yeah.
And that's why he's already like, I mean, regardless of what happened in this episode, it looks to me like no matter what, she's the one. Like, he's not going to give her these impossible tests and eventually grow bored of her. He is committed to her. I mean, the guy's willing to kill for her at this point. So yeah, he just needs to, you know, brainwash her enough or get her on his side.
More so than any other woman he's had through.
Exactly.
And yeah, she's different enough from the rest of them that she'll keep things interesting for him. It doesn't seem like he's not going to get bored of her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's going to keep him on his toes if they decide to if she decides to, oh shit, I forgot he's dead.
Wow.
Never mind.
What's happening? Is there enough oxygen on that side of the
he's
table?
dead and she's a zombie right now.
We're having long days.
It was really hot in the view room.
Yes.
So
Okay.
let's wipe that away.
But the other girl that we saw him with, like, he made her jump through hoops.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I will kill for you. I will do this for you.
Whereas, like, 2 weeks ago when we saw that girl, it seemed like he was looking for someone to just be his mother. Mm-hmm. Whereas when he found Barbara struck me as, like, his equal. Like, he wanted to treat her like a subservient equal. Mm. And that was where it was headed. And that brainwash came pretty quick, too.
Yeah, and it stayed.
Yeah. Because he essentially tied her up. Like, well, first she ran for the door, didn't make it. He pretty much subdued her, tied her up, and then just like talked a whole bunch of mess about how like you can't go anywhere. Place is soundproof. Don't mess with your lungs.
Yeah.
Drink this. Here's like 19 women I've killed over the course of 8 or 9 years. We've learned.
Yeah.
And he has a Polaroid of all of them. And just she gets deeper and deeper into this rabbit hole until eventually she does break. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, who do you want me to kill? I will kill you if you don't tell me someone you want me to kill. Who do you want me to kill? And my thought was it was going to be Gordon.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Because she was still sane enough to think if anyone can withstand this, I'd say Gordon. But that's not what happened. What happened was that he broke her. And got into that part of her brain that felt that all the things that are wrong with her in her life came from her parents. Mm-hmm. And then they went to that parents' house, killed her parents.
Dunzo.
She went super Stepfordy, and they killed her parents.
Yeah.
And that I love the weight they gave this scene. That it was like, oh no, that they just murdered these parents.
Yeah.
And she's okay with it with that like dumb like dog look of just like, what?
Yeah.
Kill them.
And I was expecting her to kind of snap out of it at least after Gordon came and sort of saved the night. Yeah. But she was just deer in the headlights look the entire time. It kind of freaked me out. And then I felt like her character was this entire season, like kind of pushed aside.
Yeah.
After all that was said and done.
That now she's just going through this major change.
Yeah.
Like,
now it's like, what now?
It's really confusing because, what's next for her?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't really see her after that scene.
Well, she can't she's not criminally they might rule her criminally insane and put her in Arkham. And we have to follow her while she's in Arkham.
They might.
That's my hope. But we're not into predictions yet. But I think that would be an incredible place to put her and an incredible thing to deal with.
Yeah.
But I'm just wondering, like, I mean, not that this has to follow the comics, but at least her character in the books
eventually gets with Gordon.
Yeah, so this is just all weird stuff. Well, I guess she will recover eventually, but it's just a pretty big, serious thing to go through.
Life-changing.
The show's taken a lot of liberties, obviously.
Yes.
So they could be doing the same thing with the whole Barbara Gordon storyline. Mm. So I don't know.
Barbara / Gordon storyline.
Yeah.
Yes.
As opposed to Barbara Gordon storyline.
Yes.
Okay.
Which may or may not happen later. Speaking of Jim Gordon looking for Barbara, can't find her.
Yeah.
Looking for the ogre. The closest he got was a JV pimp named Jake. A JV pimp a junior varsity pimp. He didn't make varsity yet.
Yeah.
Then, I mean...
He looked a little like Billy Ray Armstrong from Green Day.
Yeah. That would be a JV pimp.
Yeah.
Very much a junior varsity pimp. Mm-hmm. Finds out that he knew a waitress at a place called the Foxglove, and the ogre has been to the Foxglove, which Bullock jumps at the bit to go to the Foxglove.
Yeah.
And then Gordon meets with Penguin and gives Penguin a second favor.
a big favor. No, one big favor at the end of the whole thing.
It culminates into
Yeah.
one big favor,
Yeah.
which
Who knows what that
Penguin should not have favors right now.
Nah.
Penguin has orchestrated
He's
something.
on his game. He's on top of his
Penguin has
game.
orchestrated some huge, like, anteloping stuff where I'm like, no, you do not need, like, one of the more powerful cops.
Yeah.
You do not need a huge favor from him. This is not going to end good for
Yeah.
justice.
I mean, Harvey warned him, but
It
I
is what
think
it is.
Gordon was driven more by guilt at this point. He didn't want Barbara's potential death to be on him. So
That's all he cared. And not to mention with Loeb and everything else that hinges in this case that we tend to forget. We tend to forget because of how big this case is for a lot of people we care about.
yeah.
That it's like, no, like after this is all done, he wants to go after Loeb.
Yeah.
And then I guess at the very least oust him as commissioner, if not take over
I see that
as
happening.
commissioner. It seems too soon. We'll get there.
Yeah. Well,
But-
definitely next season at least.
Yeah, by the end of next season, I think that's too
Yeah.
soon. This season, I believe Bullock is a John at the Foxglove.
Yeah, he played that really well. I
Yeah.
thought he looked really dapper and handsome,
The
actually.
Italian suits were.
Yeah. And his hair was all nice and slicked back. He looked super edgy but very distinguished.
What a club, though.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's that club. Because you were asking us like, what time does that show come on?
Yeah.
That they're just showing latex people
Gotham
and like
airs at what, 8 p.m.?
8 p.m. Like that's
You know, I think Fox has pushed the envelope when it comes to violence
Yes.
at the 8 o'clock hour, but I feel that was incredibly sexual. A lot of the weird fetishes going on there.
Yeah, it
the
was like
8
a
o'clock
fetish
hour.
club.
yeah. Nobody's complaining. We were just saying.
I'm just surprised that they're showing it at that hour.
What Fox couldn't show were Ingrid and Gareth, their act, which had something to do with both power tools, whips, and a pig.
Yeah.
Yes.
According to the subtitles.
Yeah, and according to the subtitles, and we don't know if Ingrid or Gareth are a pig. It could be Ingrid Gareth. Could be Ingrid Gareth and a pig.
Good point.
We don't actually know. The pig might not be important enough to be named.
What do you think they witnessed? Tell us. Yeah, we should.
Please let us
us know.
tweet at us.
What do you think that Bullock was seeing there?
But you have to remember that's something worth Bullock to go like, oh no,
Yeah.
I'm outing myself.
Because nothing really shocks him, but
Yeah.
for that to be something to make him sort of expose himself as GCPD
had
that
to be-
quickly had to be insane.
It had to be something
Really gross.
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Which was the whole point for him to go in and shake them down.
Yeah.
He goes in, reveals himself. They cut to commercial. They come back from commercial. Sally, the woman the very attractive woman in the headdress at the front of the Foxglove, she knows who this guy is.
I was confused at first though because when he showed her the terrible drawing, she said she didn't know who he was. Am I wrong? Like
She was lying.
you guys heard the same? Yeah, but her turnaround after that lie was kind of strange and quick. She was like, I don't know him, and then it was like, his name was Jason, and that was I was like that happened very strangely to me. Like, did she or did she not? Why was she lying?
Well, that felt like I just anyone in that nefarious a business talking to the police, I think their first instinct would be to just nope. Never met that guy.
but then quickly she was like, what the heck? He needs to die.
Well, ultimately that's the beat.
Yeah.
That's the beat they went with. Like, I don't think they had to tell her that he's the serial killer that we went public about.
Right.
Like, she probably already knew, so that might have been weighing in deep for her. But 9 years ago, he tore up her face pretty bad, but she got away.
Yeah.
He probably learned to bolt that door in his apartment.
Because of her.
Because Barbara Keene made it to that door, and now
Yeah.
it's bolted.
And I think Harvey was one that said he let her go because he was leading up to his first kill. So he wasn't quite at that point in his mind yet to just kill a woman who wanted to leave. So she was lucky enough to be the one to escape.
Yeah. And all she knew, it was Midtown oil.
OYAL.
OYAL was
Yeah.
visible, which is enough for a clever man.
Yeah.
Enough for a clever man to find the apartment. But they found the apartment too late because Barbara had already told them, I want you to kill my parents. Or Barbara had already told the ogre, I want you to kill my parents. And they get there. Jason calls knows they're there, which, okay. I'll buy the TV logic on that one. That he just knows exactly when they're there. Well, they tripped an alarm.
Yeah.
But then he knew they'd be that hot on the case. They discerned just from the phone call that they went upstate. They went upstate to where her parents were. And we're back to this gripping scene. Mm-hmm. He kills her parents. They come in. He's playing a record really loud about how I don't want to hurt you. It was a nice touch.
Yeah.
He throws Bullock down the stairs. Gordon finds Barbara. They have this weird exchange where Barbara is still just under this complete trance. Like, did he drug her? Like, did he just I think he may have just psychologically broke her.
Yeah.
It's my call on what happened.
That makes sense because I think he sort of has his way to do something like that. I mean, how else did he keep, these girls for so long?
Well, and he learned the psychology of these girls.
Yeah.
But I think that would be my guess, that he got her to that point. Ogre comes in, holds her at knife point. He tries to get a clear shot. Bullock causes the distraction. Forehead shot.
Yeah.
Forehead shot.
I
drops
was not
dead.
expecting him to kill
Not at all.
Jason.
I was not expecting Ogre to drop dead in this episode at all.
No, me neither.
Yeah, I feel that was a big scene.
That was a big scene because
It was. And it ended quite abruptly, I have to say.
But even before, when he was questioning that girl Sally, she said, "When you get him, kill him." He said, "Okay." So
Yeah.
I was surprised even at that he was so willingly ready to say, "Yeah, I'll kill him."
Yeah.
I think this is tying into, ultimately, he loves Barbara. And obviously Barbara has a lot to work through emotionally before she's in a place to be with anyone.
Yeah.
But
Gordon seems to be the kind of guy who he flocks towards people who need help, who need him, who need someone like him. And Barbara is someone who just needs people to help her. And she's going to need Gordon, and Gordon's going to want to be there and be the person to sort of bring her back on her feet. So I think they are setting it up for, he still has feelings for Barbara, and he's still going to come after her and sort of help her.
They're gonna have to make her a lot more appealing at this point, since she's been one of the lowlights of the season.
Totally.
So for that to happen.
But if we see her go through, we've seen her go through this, and then if we see her slowly recover from this, I think that would be a nice enough arc that we'd start to.
It'd be very reading.
Yeah, we'd start to get on the Barbara train.
Yeah.
I mean, Ryan Hooks was on the Barbara train, but everyone else was so about the Barbara train.
Still kind of am, but it's okay. It's gotten better.
It's gotten way better.
Yeah.
It may or may not actually make it to the station.
Yeah.
I get really deep into my metaphors. This is what I do.
It's okay. We need a metaphor jar.
It's right there.
Clink.
It's there now. We had a metaphor jar.
Metaphor.
Probably a lot of money in it.
Yeah.
Metaphor jar is a metaphor. Damn it. Had to put more money in the metaphor jar.
It's an endless loop.
But we get that last scene with Dr. Leslie, who didn't leave town.
Right.
I thought for sure at the press conference last week, she left town.
Nah.
Dr. Leslie did not leave town. And they had this nice I love you scene. I would have always protected you first. Mm-hmm. I still don't trust Dr. Leslie.
Really? I still do. I think she's cool enough and understanding enough to know what Gordon needs to do for himself. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, like, why don't you trust her? Is it because she was so willing to let him sort of go help Barbara? And it just doesn't seem...
I think there's a little bit of that. I agree with... I'm somewhere in between you guys.
Okay.
Because I feel that she is a trustworthy character. Her character in general is trustworthy, but I feel like her relationship with Jim is a little strained right now because of this whole Barbara thing. She might be saying, oh, they might have ended on a good note today, but it's still a little strained. And I think ultimately this might tear them apart down the line.
I think so too, but I don't think it would be because she did something manipulative. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I disagree with you, Stephen, a little bit with you, Nando. I don't think she's, not to be trusted. I 100% am Team Tompkins, and I think she's going to be a good one all the way around.
Okay.
But, I could be wrong.
I'm incredibly suspect of people who are that good and nice and pure and work at Arkham.
Yeah.
That's all I have to go off of, because the canon tells me I'm dead wrong.
Yeah.
The canon or the mythos of the show tell me I'm dead wrong. That pretty much wraps up the Gordon Bullock of it all.
Yeah.
And like the A-side plot into topics.
I just liked the moment, going back to Bullock, how he was talking about the 2 Italian suits that made it into his locker on the way to the
that was
evidence
awesome.
room. I was like, that's a nice little reminder of the fact that Bullock is still sort of a corrupt cop, even though he's working very well with Gordon and understanding Gordon's like MO and the way he wants to do things. He still has that little bit of
And that Gordon's not the
corrupt to
ultimate
him.
Boy Scout, that he's not going to
Yeah.
call out Bullock on that
exactly.
either.
That's true.
They've grown together.
Yeah.
Bullock has grown to stay a dirty cop and know where the line is. Gordon has grown to accept
He just
Bullock.
gets it. He gets Bullock's,
Accept that Bullock knows where the line is.
corruptness. Yeah.
With or without Gordon's
But
help.
not the others, not Loeb.
Well, I mean, even the scene with the JV punk guy.
Yeah.
You know, when Jim's like, I'm about to, you know.
I'm
break
about
the
to,
policy for
Yeah.
interrogation.
I'm about to wreck this dude.
Yeah.
I'm about to wreck this dude.
and
Get
Bullock's
shit
like,
done.
I think I see a donut somewhere down the hall that's got my name on it.
I'm not gonna be here.
Yeah, I'm not going to be here.
That's that is. While we're on the GCPD precinct, Enigma killed a guy last week.
Yeah.
Detective Doherty.
Doherty.
Doherty?
Doherty.
Maybe
It's
if I wrote it
spelled-
on maybe if I wrote it on the board right.
Yeah. That's okay.
That's
No.
clearly Doherty.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely Doherty. But killed him, and we see Enigma walking in with like 2 rolly bags worth of
Body parts.
what you could assume we could be anything. He opens it up. It's bring your own body parts to work day. And he puts them on a sink, tries to pour corrosive on them to disintegrate them completely. Kringle comes in asking for files.
Yeah.
And he says, oh, okay, wait right here. And she doesn't listen.
Nope.
And then she sees her boyfriend. It was her boyfriend. She
Yeah.
sees her boyfriend just in that sink.
Mangled and in pieces.
To which my first thought was, wow, he has to kill her now. He has to put her in the sink.
Yeah.
It has to get rough, but he doesn't do that.
Maybe later.
Well,
Possibly later.
I mean, look, he works with bodies all the time, so she didn't see anything major out of it. She didn't see anything identifying marks from those body pieces.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not unusual for his job to have something that
Gnarly.
bizarre or gnarly
Yeah.
come through his doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just felt...
It felt very incriminating, but you know, when you think of where they are, yeah,
Everything's incriminating.
Yeah.
yeah.
Pretty much.
Everything in Gotham.
Killed every single person in his room. No, yeah,
Hey,
absolutely.
I only killed half the people in this room, thanks. Can we move forward in this murder dome game?
Yeah.
Do it.
I liked Enigma this week. I like we're getting that slow burn into the Riddler,
Yeah.
complete with that note. Which that note actually, speaking as a writer, he actually nailed the voice. He actually nailed the voice of Doherty? It's Doherty, right?
Doherty, yeah.
Okay, I got it that time. He actually nailed the voice of that cop
Yeah.
in that note. And then he was like, well, I think you should read between the lines. And then she was like, I don't know what it is. Why do I keep picking creeps?
Yeah.
Which proved to me Enigma's next to be her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Because if she's only picking creeps,
He's next in line.
he's creep number
Next line,
3.
for a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah.
He's creep number 3 till she gets too close, or someone gets too close to him.
Or she lies or something.
She leaves. He's upset about it. He goes full on Riddler.
Yeah.
But the first letter of every sentence spells out Enigma. No one ever notices
No.
because
Yeah.
who would know to look for that?
And you gotta love that he gives her the clue. He gives her the clue to
Yeah.
figure it out.
Ugh.
And of course, she just ignores it and just
like a
storms
true
off.
sociopath.
She
Yeah.
got Rickrolled Enigma style.
She's never gonna give him up.
Nope.
Nope.
Never gonna let him down.
She might.
Never
She
gonna
just
turn
might.
around.
I wonder though if he does become her next boyfriend, is this because he didn't seem very fazed at the fact that he chopped up Doherty's body, at least not to me, not
Yeah.
completely phased. But I wonder if over time that's going to phase him, and if he is in a relationship with Chris down the line, is that going to drive him to become the Riddler? Is that going to make him crazier, or is it something she's going to do?
It's gonna have something to do with her.
Yeah,
I think
it's always a woman.
It's always a partner. I don't see things that way.
I think with Nigma, what it always is he loves creating riddles, but he so desperately wants people to figure them out.
Yeah.
So that I almost feel like he got away with this. and he almost doesn't want to because it's a riddle in himself.
And he wants someone to
figure it out. So I think this is going to possibly start a little bit of a killing spree just for him to finally see like who's going to figure
and
this
start
out.
leaving
Who's
his little clues.
Yeah,
and
who's
stuff.
going to be smart enough to do this?
Because that's the folly of the folly of being the smartest guy in the room is that nobody knows you're the smartest guy in the room because you're just on another level. Mm-hmm. And he has to deal with that too. That like the riddles are the way he constantly jumps out to let people know that he's the smartest guy in the room, and nobody's taking him seriously. So he's gonna start killing people and leaving clues.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be affected negatively. I don't know if you... Maybe that's what I got from you saying that, like, this might affect him negatively.
That's what I thought. I thought
think
that
it's going to be...
it would drive him insane enough, but I guess it would drive him insane enough to do it more and more so that you're right.
Yeah.
He could
go either
help
way.
people or have hope that someone will figure it out.
But
yeah.
Well, yeah. Eventually, he's going to be a full-on villain.
Yeah.
And like go full-on villain and kill innocents and have his own mantra to it. Mm-hmm. But that's not going to be for a while. Like next season, I think we're going to see him kill maybe 3 more people.
Yeah.
And start hooking up with Kringle.
Yeah.
And we'll all be happy for him. And we'll forget that he's killing people in cold blood and sociopathically leaving clues that would lead them right to him if they only paid attention. Which he's fine because it's Gotham PD. They're always 3 steps behind. So he just needs to be 4 steps ahead.
Yeah.
But now that he's gotten his first taste of blood, I'm really curious to see how he continues to work in the Gotham PD, knowing that he can do something like this.
Yeah.
You know, like what other corners will he cut?
Ooh, Enigma Justice.
Ooh. Or what if Tompkins is sort of on his like she sort of senses that something's going on with him and maybe she'll tail him somehow and try to figure out exactly what's been going on, because I'm sure over time his demeanor is going to change, the way he interacts with people is going to change, and she's going to get suspicious since she works the closest with him.
Yes.
So that might put her in danger.
Very much so.
I don't know.
Also,
this is all in prediction realm, but it makes sense to me.
These scenes were pretty well sprinkled throughout. There are only 4 of them, and I did have the one note on the Hamlet where he talked to the skull.
Oh, yeah.
Where I was like, oh, that's cool. He's talking to a skull. That's like very, very Hamlet, very artistically. And then he puts the skull in a bag and then just
smashes
the skull. That was a good scene.
Yeah.
And okay, she will pick him. Creep. Yeah, we're through with that.
Yeah.
Be sure to
I'm excited to see Riddler. Like the Riddler actually develop and come out more
slowly,
from Nigma.
Very slowly, like this incredible slow burn that you're truly gonna get an origin story.
I've been really happy with his storyline this whole season.
It's been
very
steady,
small, but exactly. It's been the most sensical and steady to me.
Like there never seemed to be there was never an abrupt change. It's like no, we've been building to this murder for 20 weeks. We're ready for this murder. And we're still shocked because we thought it wasn't gonna happen.
Right.
He murdered somebody last week.
Yeah.
And then he dealt with it this week. Speaking of dealing with it, Detective Lil Wayne, he got upgraded this week. Detective Lil Wayne gets the key, breaks into Sid Bundersaw's office, like a cool, awesome little bat sleuth.
Yeah.
And it's empty. Gets the key, gets into the safe. The safe is empty, and Sid Bunderslaw not only knows he's there, but offers him a cookie.
Several times.
Should all take that.
Should all take the cookie.
I was also, I've unlimited soda and popcorn and a Ghirardelli sundae for my screening of Avengers this Thursday.
Nice.
So I have to swear off sweets. I've had to swear off sweets since Saturday
to prepare for this weekend.
To prepare for just this 5-hour marathon Thursday of just popcorn and soda and a sundae and a chocolate sundae, and I'm probably going to bring in M&Ms. I got a little off track there, but it's worth noting that cookie was like heaven to me.
Oh yeah, watching that,
watching a cookie on screen,
waiting to be picked up.
Where I'm just like, bro, just
take it.
It's wrapped individually. It's an individually wrapped cookie. You can take it for later.
Yeah.
Go for it. How do we feel about Bunderslaw's bombshell?
Well, first of all, it was hard for me to see Bunderslaw as, it's hard. Okay. It was hard for me to see him as a bad guy while I was watching, because he did say that Bruce Wayne's dad was aware of everything that was going on in Wayne. Like, he was being honest with Bruce. He was being open with Bruce, honest with Bruce, saying that he didn't want anyone to die in the process of Reggie going in to find out, you know, what Bruce had information on. So I couldn't find him to be sort of like the worst person in the room, or, you know, part of this whole thing.
Or at least from his side.
From his side, yeah.
From his side, and his side made a lot of sense.
But I think it was a good bomb for Bruce to sort of to be in, and to hear about, you know, his dad had two sides, and he knew his dad one way and the company knew him another, and this is probably the turning point for Bruce Wayne to really sort of change the way he does things. So,
and understand that you probably have to have that duality to work both ways.
Exactly, and he got that advice from Lucius, who we met. So
your dad was very stoic.
Yeah.
Lucius, played by, I never actually looked up his name, but the gentleman who plays Lucius was amazing in Newsroom.
Yeah.
All 3 seasons of Newsroom, that guy was
Cool.
a tour de force as an actor. I hope to see more Lucius Fox.
I know.
More Lucius Fox.
I'm sure it's not the end of it, based on his last conversation with
Bruce.
Bruce.
Well, this whole thing in Wayne Enterprises struck me as the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
And we'll get into it in predictions, but I think this is like the tip of something just huge, like some huge criminal underworld that Wayne Enterprises is like knowingly a part of.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see that slowly unravel.
Yeah.
Because the show is big on the slow burn of just, you know what? Give me like a good 3-4 episode arc serial killer, and then in the background you're starting an entire massive gang war, or like the tip of this massive criminal underworld iceberg, or any of those things. Like the pacing, everything, you're just doing it, guys.
It was good.
You're nailing this.
Good. I'm also curious, after Bruce finds out about his dad, and knowing that his dad sort of, you know, understood what was going on with the company, is Bruce going to continue working the way he has been working, or is he going to do things the way his dad did them for a while?
I feel
to maybe get a better understanding.
I feel like he would be smart enough to understand that as long as everyone within Wayne Enterprises, and ultimately whatever he needs to figure out, as long as those people think he's playing ball and staying, like, just playing the course normally,
then he can control everyone.
They won't look into him, and he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And maybe he can have Selena Kyle do more for him. He could have Alfred do more for him. He could just have other people do things for him, so he can stay out of that spotlight. That they're probably going to have someone follow him at all times if they could. That's just how because he's probably a very valuable asset.
Totally.
So they won't look at him very well if he's in the room.
Yeah.
And has accepted like, okay, this is all messed up.
Makes sense.
And then when he does become Batman, he knows where all the webs are.
True.
Also, we get that scene we've seen for the past 2 weeks on the next week, where I think we get a Batcave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Get a nice little glimpse.
The fireplace comes out and we get a Batcave.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see
what have we been hiding this whole time?
the senior Batcave.
Yeah.
The senior Batcave. And we get this really good scene with Alfred and Bruce talking specifically about killing Reggie. It was just like a good, slower moment into what's definitely going to work out. And now Alfred's on the same page, and Alfred's going to help move forward and investigate what's happening. And I'm very excited.
Yeah. They're going to be a good duo. You know, like they always are.
Huh? And this last part that they shoehorned in the past 3 weeks. The Penguin, Maroni, Falcone, Butch, Zaz, Connor.
Yeah, we got more of Butch, like...
We got Butch.
I don't know where.
Because right before Penguin makes that deal with Gordon, Butch installs a machine gun under the jukebox.
Behind the jukebox. Yeah.
And then a gun at the bar, so this Irish assassin can come in and kill Maroni.
Yeah.
And then he comes in, tries to kill Maroni. Both the machine gun and the other gun, the sidearm, they jammed up.
Empty, which I thought was brilliant on Penguin's part.
I didn't think it was Penguin at first.
No?
I thought it was Butch.
Well, he wasn't Butch talking to Penguin saying that he planted the guns here and here.
Yeah. But I was
Yeah.
saying before that
But
scene,
you
like
thought
when
that Butch was the one who planted them.
when
and
it first
had them-
happened, because I still believe that Butch is not brainwashed at all.
I don't think he is either.
Like, I think Butch
even
is
at this
just-
point.
I think Butch is just working for Penguin till he has his moment to strike.
Yeah.
Which he's clearly going to have plenty of moments to strike now, because it looks like there's a power vacuum starting, and they're just going to crown a new leader
Yeah.
of the entire criminal underworld. And we find out later this is another Penguin master plan that's brilliantly done.
And it's a perfect way for him to walk away with his hands clean if it all goes smoothly.
Yeah, like Maroni's guys will kill Falcone's guys, Falcone's
Yeah.
guys will kill Maroni's guys.
And who's left on top but Penguin himself?
Well,
But what's interesting and maybe flawed about that whole thing too is that Maroni believes that Penguin is one of Falcone's guys. So it's really funny that he's so angry at Falcone that he's not even going for Penguin.
not even a little.
Not even a little bit. So that's the one part that I kind of don't believe. Part
He
of the
could
plan.
come after him later,
could come
after he
after him.
takes care of the kingpin.
But really, he promised Falcone he wasn't going to go after Penguin. So what better way?
All
to
bets
go?
are off now, though.
Yeah, all bets
So
are off.
he-
So he should.
But Penguin seems planned well enough
Yeah,
that he's probably protected.
I guess.
He's probably protected through this entire. Like, I think Penguin's plan is to take over the right people at the right time and win the entire gang war and have the entire city fall to him.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen, but that's his plan.
That's
Right.
his plan. I did love that one line from Connor when he said, "You want me to really talk to? You want me to give a message before I actually kill the guy? Isn't that we? You know?
Yeah.
I always
It's like
found that.
typical supervillain.
What's the point of telling a guy off before you're gonna kill him or something? Yeah.
I did kind of love that line.
I also loved when his head was in the box, and I was looking at the box, and I just went straight to 7, and I was like, "What's in the box?"
Oh no! The second that box came, it was Maroni's tomato sauce. But that's what was on the box.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
Maroni makes
Maroni's.
Maroni makes
Oh,
tomato
that's true.
sauce. So I mean, those are the boxes he's laying around. Those are the boxes he's going to use.
Right.
And how else are you going to know it's from him?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think people send Falcone a lot of heads. You need to make it clear
That's
that this
probably
is
true.
This is from Maroni.
this is from Maroni, and it's the assassin you didn't hire.
Yeah.
Good luck figuring it out.
Yeah. He's like, what's in the box? What is this?
Oh, but
I love
everything. And so, are we ready for predictions?
I think so.
I think we're ready
Let's
for
do it.
predictions.
And now, your Afterbuzz TV predictions.
We will work viewers right to left. So, Nando, what are your predictions?
Okay, so I think I mentioned a little bit here and there, but I do think that I think Gordon is going to be going after Barbara to make sure she's okay.
Ooh.
And is going to be, watching over kind of like the burn. I think you mentioned a little bit, Barbara's obviously not in a good place, but Jim's concerned. And I believe that's going to ultimately get Tompkins to break up with him or get upset at him and do something,
That's juicy.
Yeah.
But like Gordon has a lot going on next week.
Well, it probably
Yeah,
won't
like-
happen. Actually,
yeah,
to be
that
honest,
seems like a slower-
These are probably going to be slower burns because I think what's going to happen next week's just going to be the gang war. It's just really going to
Yeah.
be all Penguin with Fish coming back and everything. It's going to be all
I
that.
think Fish is coming back.
Well, we saw the.
Oh,
was-
I
that was in
totally
the-
missed that in
that
the
was in the-
reviews.
Spoiler, it was in the thing.
Spoilers, guys. It was in the
My
preview.
bad.
We figured
Fish is coming back.
Fish is coming back at least in some capacity.
She was also credited in this week's episode in spite of not being in it.
interesting.
That I saw her name.
Yeah, but I do think that ultimately Jim is going to be, taking care of Barbara to the point where Tompkins is just going to be fed up.
Ooh.
And then I also think that I kind of mentioned this. Nigma is going to start doing other things in the maybe not killing people, but start leaving other clues because he has not been found out. So it's probably driving him insane that nobody knows he's capable of this.
Yeah.
So I could see him even doing little office pranks and just leaving little goofy things. Like, no one can figure me out, It's
like, what can I get away with?
Who drank all the coffee at the coffee machine? I don't know. You look at the clues.
I don't know. It looks like it's on E. There's not a readout for how much coffee's there.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing
I
to
don't
us
know
right now,
what you're
Nigma.
talking about, Nigma. Yeah, exactly. So I think it's gonna be the beginning of Nigma being more of a prankster in the PD. So
Yeah.
those are my 2 big predictions.
Done.
But I think both of them we're not going to see till next season at this point.
Yeah.
Because I think next week's going
Do
to
you
be
have
all
anything?
out gang war.
Do you have anything big for next week?
I think Maroni and Falcone are both going to remain alive, but Penguin's going to gain power, ultimately.
Ooh.
So
Like he might have an extra hold on them.
Yeah, he'll have an extra hold on them, but they'll both. Those 2 characters, I don't think are going to die.
Okay.
So
I don't think they. I think it would be a mistake if they killed both of them off.
Yeah, or even one of them.
Yeah.
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 What do you got for us, Joyce?
I think that if we're going to predict that Leslie and Gordon are going to break up, it will be because of Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder, again, like I said earlier, they might change the story up for the show,
Mm-hmm.
and Barbara might just be sort of a nuisance to Gordon. Maybe he won't want to help her, and maybe they'll steer away from the Gordon / Barbara storyline, like of them just getting together and stuff. That's kind of all I have. I kind of agree with you on the whole Barbara front. So
No worries, because I have a lot.
go.
Gordon, while working on a gang war and giving Penguin a huge favor, still has to take down Commissioner Loeb.
Oh, that's right.
Commissioner Loeb is still there. We still have to deal with this. I don't think he's gonna become commissioner, but he's gonna oust Loeb as commissioner in the midst of the craziness that'll be next week. Because Penguin will need that favor. It'll have something to do with the gang war, and he'll take down Loeb. Speaking of the gang war, I'm predicting both Maroni and Fish dead.
Ooh, Maroni too, huh? Okay.
Heard it here.
Maroni.
All right.
It's going to be Falcone and Penguin left standing, and they're going to be at odds with each other.
Then how does Two-Face come about?
I hope not. I hope he never does. Or I hope we never see him in this show.
Yeah.
Like, aside from just being Harvey Dent. I think Enigma is going to be more of a positive villain, if you will. I think he's going to be a vigilante. Like, he's going to find forensic cases that can't be solved, but or he can figure them out, but, like, the police can't figure it out. And he's just going to go and kill somebody. He's going to go kill the people responsible. And he's going to have his own brand of justice and leave his own clues.
Yeah, he'll think he's doing well.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing well.
good.
And, like, in his sick mind, he'll think that these clues the cops will eventually figure out and then congratulate him on helping. That's how I feel. And the big one and the tip of this iceberg, I think the criminal underworld conspiracy that's in all about Wayne Enterprises is the Court of Owls.
Yes.
Is the what?
The Court of Owls.
Owls.
Oh, really?
I'm going to pick up my pen to drop it again. Court of Owls. And we will find most of this out next week.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Probably not the Enigma stuff.
I
Enigma
would
stuff.
love it if they went in the direction of Court of Owls.
I feel like that's what we're headed towards. Like there's a big secret puppet master controlling this entire city. And next week we're going to get to hear about all of it, and then you guys are going to come back here and listen to us talk about it. Next week's season finale.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned, episode 22 next week,
Same
and then
bat time. No, just
it will be the same bat time,
Yeah.
same bat channel, which will be whenever you listen and or hear to us.
Yeah.
Hear from us. That wraps it up.
Yeah.
I think we're all set.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us. If people have something to say about Gotham or any of the shows you do this week, where can they find you, Joyce?
Well, you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at JAJOURI. And that is all. I'm also on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. podcast here on Tuesday nights.
And if you want to reach out to me on Gotham or any of the other shows I do here at AfterBuzz, you can follow me on Twitter at NANDOVEL, Nando Val.
And you guys can follow me at Steve Kaufmann. That's KAUFMANN. I'm on close to a baker's dozen of shows here at this point. I tweet about them fairly regularly. May 7th, I'm starting something fairly original that I'll be tweeting about when I have more information.
Cool.
It involves wrestling. All right. Thank you guys. Good night.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.